yeah, I'm always gonna represent that, but I also represent the world. You hear about slavery for 400 years. For 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
His latest comment on the topic of slavery may be causing the biggest furore yet.
He said slavery was a choice.
Wild statement on TMZ Live. He's getting a lot of attention.
Going blonde is a choice.
Kanye West.
Kanye messed up. That's for sure.
Thank you.
But I think he had a point, a real important point that he wanted to communicate, but he failed at the delivery. Look, I'm not defending his literal claim. Of course, slaves didn't have a choice. Of course, I condemn slavery, and it was a real thing. People couldn't just decide quit being a slave, as he says. But I don't think he wanted to communicate that. He was making a metaphor. And I guess Kanye sucks at making metaphors during live TV shows.
We need to be free thinkers, then we need to learn how to feel free.
What he tried to communicate during his interview is that freedom of thought has been abolished. You aren't allowed to think whatever you want. And well, that makes us a new type of slaves, mental slaves. We're in a kind of a mental prison. We have these mental chains. Our thoughts are stuck between some walls of what we can and cannot think, of how we can and cannot feel. There are certain boundaries. We have to stay within the acceptable, right? We have laws of freedom of thought, and I think that's dangerous. The initial intention was good though. People didn't want races to just be able to spread profanities. They didn't want their children witnessing all the hate. And I mean, I get that. It's horrible that someone can insult your sexuality or race and suffer no consequences. So people decided to establish some laws against that, to make some rules, and social pressure was created. But these limits of acceptable and not acceptable, they don't actually destroy the bad thoughts. They only suppress them. And at some point or another, these hidden thoughts, they come out and things get ugly. Just look at the shit happening in my country. A couple of days ago, there was this huge anti-COVID protest attended by enraged fascists and conspiracy theorists. They made swastikas from candles on the streets. This is the lowest it can get. And I genuinely think this happens because of a lack of conversation, with people canceling individuals with unacceptable thoughts rather than having calm, reasoned discussions. These mental boundaries, they prevent the crucial, mind-changing conversations from happening. If you want more examples, just think of all the people that commit suicide because they couldn't live with a sexuality that is not accepted in their community. Or all the cheating that is happening nowadays because polyamorous relationships are not even thinkable, right? Or just think about your own life. At some point or another, you withheld yourself from saying something because you knew it's not acceptable. You knew you can't think this way. You knew you can't feel this way. You knew you cannot have this opinion. And so we end up being our own prison guards, just blindly suppressing each weird, not acceptable thought rather than confronting it and destroying it with argumentation and logic and reason.
People say feel free, but we don't even know how to feel free or think free. Say what you feel. Positive or negative.
So yeah, I think this is a problem, and Kanye wanted to point that out. Freedom of thoughts and feelings. He wanted to bring attention to the mental chains, but well, he messed up. Even though I wonder that the mistake is made, all this controversy he's created, it just underlines how a person saying non-acceptable stuff is just getting yelled at instead of inquired to further develop their thoughts, right? So maybe it was a messed up metaphor, or maybe it on purpose, but his plan failed. Either way, he messed up. And that's crazy that he was so close to pointing out the problem, but yet so far. He could have just said, remember slavery? Well, we're kind of a new type of slaves. Only mental slaves. And we have a choice to get out. Maybe next time. Or maybe all of this is just me overthinking what a stupid racist rapper said. I don't know. Try to think for yourself.
Know your role and try learn your life. In a this time you gotta move like you're blind. No matter